Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be talking about how sections, rows, and elements all really fit together. And in fact, we're going to talk about navigating each one of those. And so I'm going to be going through this right here, right now. Basically, how it works is sections, when you're in the main app builder, I'll just save this actually. When you're in the main app builder, if you come into any particular screen, it doesn't matter what it is, when you make a screen and come into it, if there's nothing on it, it'll look like this. If you've imported a template, obviously there'll be different things on it. But the main thing that you have to know about using 22 apps is that it's based off of sections, rows, and elements. So sections contain rows and rows contain elements. So if you come over to the left side under the plus kind of menu button, you can drag on a section onto the canvas pretty much anywhere you like. And you'll see when you hover over it, it'll appear right here. Then you can drag in a row into that section and you can drag an element into that row. And rows also contain columns. So like you could have two columns if you want. So you could have two headers side by side, or two buttons, or two icons, or something like this. So I'm going to talk about all the elements in other videos, but I wanted to mainly talk about the section and the row settings and what's important there and that sort of thing. So the first thing I'll say is when you hover over any element, row, or section, you'll see a menu come up. So when I hover over this element, it shows me I can bold it, I can italicize it, I can underline it, I can strike through it. Then there's this, which I'll say in a second. I can copy it and I can delete it. But this is very, very useful, this little magnifying glass, because in a lot of landing page builders, there's often a hard time highlighting the row. It's kind of hard to reach the row and click on it and access the row settings. And so we made it nice and easy for you, where if you click this little zoom out button, it will zoom out to the higher level thing above it. So if you're in an element, like this is an element, you click the minus button, the zoom out button, it'll go to the row settings. And if you click it again, it'll go to the section settings. So that makes it nice and easy to navigate, even if you have a hard time highlighting a particular piece. That said, what I'm here to share with you, of course, is the row and section settings. So to start off with the section settings, you can see here that as we go through it, all of the main settings to do with the row or the section or the element are housed on the left, and the appearance settings are generally on the right. And so when it comes to settings, or when it comes to sections, there's a couple main things that you'll want to know, which are, the first is sticky. So the setting of sticky when you're using a section is really, really important, because this will determine if it's in line with the page or if it's above the page and it scrolls above or not. And what I mean by that is I'll show you way better through example. So you can see here how this here is a section, like this big white area is a section, and it scrolls underneath this top section. So you can see here, it scrolls underneath that. And that's because this section here is sticky to top, meaning that it's a menu option or a menu bar. So whatever the main content is going to scroll under it, okay? And same thing with this stuff, this part at the bottom, stuff scrolls behind it because it's sticky to bottom. So you can see here this setting is set as sticky to bottom, which means that things are going to scroll under it. So this is very useful for making things like menus, or showing your logo at the top of the app, or having a button which opens the sub menu, or different things like this. It really helps make a really clean app experience. The next thing that I'll share with you when it comes to sections is you can also have a background image. This is totally optional, but if you want to have a background image for a section, you can totally do that. Fit is how much it's taking up. So you can see here I can adjust the size of the section to kind of a different width. Animation is if there's a delay of it loading into the page. So as an example, if you want to delay a section from popping up, maybe it shows some kind of offer, maybe it shows some kind of information about a promotion going on, you can delay it a little bit before it shows up on the page, such as if you want them to watch an audio first or watch a video first. I could have it set to like show up after 1 minute and 32 seconds when I give my call to action in the video. If you leave it at 00, it'll obviously just load into the page right away. Over on the right side of the section settings, we have background color, where we can change like the background color. We have opacity, which changes like how transparent the section is. We have alignment. So this is useful if you are changing like the fit. So you can see here, I can change the alignment of the section to be more left or right, or however I kind of want it. We'll just put this back to 100% though. Then there's border, so I can add a border. It can be solid, dashed, dotted. I can change the border color, I can change the border size, as well as the radius. So if I want to make it like rounded corners, I can totally do that. And then the last thing is there's spacing options as well. So if I want to move the section or add a little bit more padding, a little bit more spacing, this makes it nice and easy to adjust it really however I want. It's got all the settings of adjusting it, adjusting more padding in the top, you can see here, adjusting more padding in the bottom, and left and right as well. So the same thing basically goes for rows. So if I go into, well, I'll just return this to normal, 1 second. If I go into the row settings, you'll find very similar things here, where on the right side, just like usual, you can find background color, shadow, where you can have a little bit of a shadow to a row if you'd like. Opacity, once again, alignment, once again, border settings, once again, and spacing, once again. But the main thing that you need to be concerned about with rows is, of course, yes, you can add a background image and fit and animations all there as well. But there's also, you can select the number of columns. So here we have 2 columns set, and you can also set which, how you want the columns structured or set up. So I have it set up where it's 20%, 80%, but I could change that to 80%, 20%. It kind of screws up with the design I've got going on, but you can totally do that. As well as I can make it like 5 columns, 4 columns, 3 columns, 2 columns, or 1 column. And see, if I make it 1 column, it just puts everything back under like 1 column. I like it in this design to be 2 columns, 40% on the left, or whatever it is, 20% on the left and 80% on the right. And that looks good for my purposes. So, well, I'm just going to refresh the page because I don't want it to save. That is how you navigate the sections and row settings, and it's kind of how everything gets set up within that. So if you need any help with specific elements, I'm also going to be making a bunch of videos on the specific elements and their use cases and all this kind of stuff. So definitely look out for that. And if you need anything else, please let me know. Always happy to help, always happy to support. And I look forward to seeing your 22 app success very soon.